My dear soul, you've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You've been trying to control, fix, plan, and push, hoping that somehow, with just a little more effort, everything will fall into place. But today, I want you to hear this truth with your whole heart. You don't have to do it all by yourself anymore. The secret is simple. Give it to God and stop worrying. He will do the impossible. Let's take a deep breath together, and let's begin the gentle process of surrender. You've done everything you could. You have tried to hold everything together, to plan every step, to make it all work out the way you imagined. You've told yourself, if I just try a little harder, if I just fix this one thing, then everything will fall into place. And yet, no matter how tightly you hold on, life keeps showing you the same truth over and over again. You are not in control. That is not a punishment. That is not a failure. That is a divine invitation. There is a greater force at work in your life, loving, wise, and infinite. And this force does not ask you to know everything. It does not expect you to hold everything together. It simply calls you to trust, to release, to step out of the illusion that you have to control the timing, the outcome, or the path. Because the truth is, when you try to control everything, you are operating from fear, not from love. And fear contracts your spirit. Fear shrinks your vision. Fear whispers lies like, I must do this on my own, or if I let go, it will all fall apart. But love says something different. Love says you are not alone. Love says you are held. Love says let go and watch what happens when you stop resisting. Control is seductive. It gives the illusion of safety. It makes us feel that if we can just plan well enough, if we can just anticipate every possible outcome, then we can avoid pain, disappointment, or failure. But life doesn't work that way. And you weren't designed to live in a constant state of hypervigilance. You were created to trust, to receive, to co-create, not to dominate the process. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means handing over the outcome to a power greater than yourself. It means saying, I have done what I can, now I trust what I cannot see. It is an act of courage, not weakness. It's an act of spiritual maturity. It is a moment of alignment where you step back and let the universe step in. And you will be amazed what happens when you do. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you allow better ones to arrive. When you stop clinging to what isn't working, you make space for what is meant to flow. When you stop worrying about what might go wrong, you open your heart to everything that could go beautifully right. This is not about becoming passive. This is about becoming peaceful. It is about surrendering the parts that were never yours to control in the first place. You can still take inspired action. You can still make choices, but your energy changes. You begin to move with faith instead of fear. You begin to live with ease instead of struggle. You begin to see that when your plans fall apart, it might be because something far greater is coming together. There is divine timing, there is divine order, and when you let go of your grip, you begin to notice the signs, the nudges, the synchronicities that were always there, waiting for you to soften. You are not here to control, you are here to trust. You are here to allow grace to move through your life. You are here to surrender the illusion and embrace the miracle. So if you are tired of trying, tired of overthinking, tired of fixing everything for everyone, take this moment and breathe. You don't have to carry it all. You were never meant to. Place it all in God's hands. Your burdens, your fears, your timelines, your expectations. Release them with love. Say these words quietly to your heart. I let go. I trust. I surrender. And know that in doing so, you are aligning yourself with something so much greater. something that sees farther than you can, loves deeper than you imagine, and works all things together for your highest good. You are not losing control, you are gaining freedom. You are not falling behind, you are being carried forward. And the moment you let go, you will feel it, a peace that surpasses understanding, a lightness in your spirit, a quiet knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You don't have to control the path. You only need to take the next faithful step and let love lead the way. Worry is a habit the mind clings to when it feels out of control. It convinces you that if you just think long enough, hard enough, or often enough, you can prevent something bad from happening. It makes you believe that through constant tension and preparation, you'll be safe. But the truth is, worry doesn't protect you. It doesn't prevent pain. It doesn't solve anything. It only weighs you down. Worry drains your energy. It fills your body with stress, your mind with noise, and your heart with fear. It steals your joy from the present moment. It casts shadows over your blessings. And most of all, it disconnects you from the truth. You are not alone, and you are already being guided. You see, worry is like rocking in a chair. You keep moving, but you go nowhere. It keeps your mind busy, but offers no real solution. And yet so many of us are trained to believe that worrying is being responsible, that if we don't worry, we don't care. But that's not true. You can be thoughtful, you can be prepared, you can take meaningful action. But worrying beyond your control isn't preparation, it's punishment. When you begin to release worry, something miraculous happens. You begin to hear the gentle wisdom within. You begin to sense peace even in uncertainty. You begin to trust that what you need will come when you need it, not because you worried about it, but because life supports you when you align with trust instead of fear. Worry is a message from the ego, not from the soul. The ego wants to predict, protect, and control. It wants answers now. It wants a guarantee before it can rest. But the soul is different. The soul speaks softly and says, even if I don't know how, I trust that I am safe. I trust that I am loved. I trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Your thoughts are powerful. Every time you rehearse fear, you teach your body to feel anxious, to tighten, to expect the worst. But every time you choose peace instead, you remind your body that it's safe to relax, to hope, to receive. That shift in energy changes everything. It opens the way for creative solutions, for unseen help, for inner clarity. Let yourself rest. Not because everything is figured out, but because worry is not the solution. Trust is. Begin to turn your inner dialogue toward faith. Each time your mind starts spiraling into what if and what next, gently bring it back to the present moment. Speak truth to your fear. Right now, I am okay. Right now, I am held. Right now, all is well. You don't have to have it all figured out today. You don't have to plan for every scenario. You don't have to lose sleep or carry the weight of uncertainty on your chest. What if you simply believe that things are working out better than you can imagine? What if you allowed grace to do what your worry cannot? Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause, breathe, and release. Place your concerns in the hands of the divine. Say with sincerity, I give this to you. I trust you with this. Show me the way, and then let go. Not because you're ignoring the issue, but because you're allowing a greater wisdom to guide the outcome. Worry is a choice, but so is peace. And peace doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. Peace means you've chosen to respond with trust instead of tension. It means you've stopped trying to fight life and started flowing with it. It means you've decided that your inner calm is more important than your outer chaos. You are worthy of a peaceful mind. You are worthy of a soft heart. You are worthy of deep trust. Let today be the day you stop rehearsing fear and begin practicing faith. Let it be the day you remind yourself that everything is unfolding for your highest good, even when you can't see how. And if you catch yourself worrying again, that's okay. You are human. Just bring yourself back. Breathe, recenter, resurrender again and again. That's how healing happens. That's how peace becomes your habit. That's how miracles begin to move through your life. Remember this: worry doesn't change the outcome, but peace changes you. And when you change, your world changes with you. So breathe, dear soul, release the weight, let the worry go. You are safe, you are loved, and you are not walking this path alone. There is a point when you've tried everything. You've reasoned, begged, pushed, strategized, overthought, and exhausted yourself. You've wrestled with problems in your mind and twisted your heart trying to fix what you cannot fix. You've prayed, but then you stayed in fear. You asked for help, but then you kept controlling the outcome. And deep down, your soul whispers, let go now. Step aside, let something greater take over. Miracles do not require effort. They require space. When you step aside, when you release your grip on how things must happen, when you surrender the urgency and stop trying to force the universe to bend to your will, you open a portal for grace to enter. You make room for something wiser, kinder, and far more powerful than you to move on your behalf. Miracles are not distant. They are not rare. They are always near, always waiting. But they cannot come into a heart that is closed in fear. They cannot land in a mind that is clinging to control. They arrive when there is openness. They bloom where there is trust. They flow where there is faith. We live in a world that celebrates control. We are taught to hustle, to strive, to work harder, to always have a plan. But the soul knows that real power is soft. Real power is in knowing when to act and when to release, when to speak and when to be still, when to move forward and when to stand back and allow the divine to orchestrate what you cannot. When you step aside, it is not weakness, it is alignment. It is strength in its most sacred form. You are saying, I have done what I can, and now I trust what I cannot see. You are saying, I no longer need to force what doesn't flow. I trust in the timing. I trust in the unfolding. It's in the stepping back that the door swings open. It's in the softening that the light pours in. It's in the releasing that you are carried to something far greater than what you were holding on to. You don't have to do this all alone. You never did. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were never meant to solve every problem with your intellect or logic. The mind is a beautiful tool, but it cannot always perceive the infinite possibilities that exist beyond your awareness. That is where miracles live, in the unseen, in the unexpected, in the place where you loosen your hold and say, show me the way. So many blessings have been waiting for you. So many opportunities, solutions, and surprises are lined up on your path, but your energy must match them. Not with panic, not with pressure, but with peace. Miracles respond to the frequency of surrender, not stress. They respond to your willingness to step out of the way. And stepping aside doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing the inner work of allowing, of quieting the noise, of opening your heart, of replacing fear with trust, anxiety with calm, doubt with the simple affirmation, I am ready to receive. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take your hands off the wheel and let life guide you. It knows the way. It always has. You don't have to keep trying to make someone stay, to make someone understand, to force a door that won't open. Step aside, let the right people, the right answers, the right timing flow to you without strain. You are not stuck, you are not lost. You are simply being asked to soften, to surrender, to remember that your value is not in how much you can fix, but in how deeply you can trust. The universe has heard you. The path is already being made clear. But first you must stop resisting. You must stop clinging to what you thought had to happen. You are being led to something better than your plans. You are being moved to something more beautiful than your expectations. So today, let this be your quiet revolution. Step aside. Step aside from worry. Step aside from doubt. Step aside from overthinking. Step aside from trying to control every outcome. And just breathe. You are not doing this alone. You are surrounded by love. You are supported by something higher. You are guided every step of the way. Miracles happen in the space you create when you finally let go. When you let peace fill the room where panic once lived. When you stop insisting on your way and trust that a better way is coming. Let go now, dear heart. Step aside and let the miracle unfold. Trust is not something the mind can calculate. It isn't built on facts, figures, or proof. It doesn't come from guarantees or certainty. Trust is born from the heart. It is an act of surrender, a soft and powerful decision to believe in something greater, even when there is no visible reason to do so. You don't need evidence to trust. You don't need everything to make sense before you allow peace in. You don't need to see the full staircase to take the first step. What you truly need is a willingness to let go of control and open your arms to the unseen support that has always been there for you. The human mind is constantly looking for proof. Show me that it's safe, it says. Show me that it will work out. Show me that I won't get hurt. And so we delay our peace. We wait for something or someone outside of ourselves to convince us that it's okay to relax, okay to believe, okay to move forward. But trust doesn't wait for proof. Trust moves before the evidence appears. It chooses hope even when fear is louder. It chooses love even when the heart has been broken. It chooses faith even when the path looks uncertain. You don't need to have all the answers to trust. You don't have to predict the future or know how every piece will come together. That's not your job. Your job is to trust the process. Your job is to surrender the need to control the outcome and instead align yourself with the energy of possibility. Every time you surrender, you invite something sacred to unfold. When you release your grip, when you stop needing to figure it all out, you create space for something new to come in. The miracle happens in that space. The clarity arrives in the stillness. The help appears once you stop trying to do it all alone. It is not weak to surrender. It is not foolish to trust. It is wise. It is brave. It is a deep recognition that there is a rhythm to this life, far greater than the plans we try to hold. It is knowing that the universe is not against you. It's guiding you, even when you cannot see the full picture yet. And yes, there will be moments when you question everything, moments when fear feels bigger than your faith. That is human. That is okay. But even then, you can choose again. You can place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath and say, even now, I trust. You may not know how the healing will come, but trust that it will. You may not know when the right door will open, but trust that it's on its way. You may not understand why a chapter had to end, but trust that something better is beginning. Trust turns your energy from resistance into flow. It turns your worry into wisdom. It turns your pain into power. You are not being punished, you are being led. Every delay has a reason. Every detour is protection. Every unanswered prayer is making space for something more aligned. Trust allows you to walk through the unknown with grace instead of fear. So stop waiting for the evidence. Stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect. Stop waiting to feel 100% ready. Lean into your faith. Lean into your intuition. Lean into the knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. And it will arrive not by force, but by flow. When you stop chasing and start trusting, the energy shifts, doors open, people show up, ideas flow, healing begins, not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to something deeper than your doubts. You are not lost, you are not forgotten, you are being guided in ways you cannot yet imagine. Even now, even in the waiting, you are being led to exactly where you need to be. Let go of the need to see it all clearly. Let go of the fear that you are falling behind. Let go of the belief that you have to do it all alone. You are supported. You are held. You are loved through it all. And when you trust, truly trust, you begin to relax into life. You begin to see beauty even in the unfolding. You begin to feel peace in the pauses. You begin to receive more than you ever thought possible because you finally stopped blocking the flow. You don't need proof, you only need presence. Breathe, surrender, and trust that everything is working out in ways far more beautiful than you can yet see. You don't need to plead. You don't need to cry out in desperation as if God has forgotten you. You don't need to keep begging for what your heart already knows is meant for you. There is nothing you need to prove, nothing you need to earn. God already knows your heart. In the quiet moments when no one sees your pain, God sees it. When your soul whispers what your lips are afraid to say, He hears it. Before you form the words, before you kneel down or lift your eyes to the heavens, He already knows. He has already gone before you. He has already planted the seeds of your breakthrough. All He asks is that you trust Him. Begging doesn't move God. Faith does. God is not impressed by how loud your voice is or how many times you repeat your request. He is moved by your belief, by your quiet surrender, by your ability to lay it all down and say, I trust you, even here, even in the waiting, even in the silence. So many people think they must plead and push and prove themselves to receive blessings. But you are not an outsider asking for scraps. You are a child of the divine, already worthy, already loved, already heard. Your very being is enough. Your existence is a prayer. You don't need to keep asking for the same thing over and over, hoping to be noticed. You have never gone unnoticed. You have never been ignored. Delay is not denial. Silence is not abandonment. Sometimes God is just working in the unseen. Sometimes He's rearranging what you cannot yet understand. Sometimes He's preparing you for what you've asked for so that when it comes, you are ready to carry it with grace. It's not your begging that unlocks the miracle, it's your belief. Your calm faith that says, if it's meant for me, it will find me. If not, something better will take its place. That's when peace enters your heart. That's when strength rises within you. That's when you step out of fear and into trust. God knows your heart. He knows what you're longing for. He knows what you've cried about at night. He knows what you've been too afraid to say out loud. He sees the burdens you carry, the questions you wrestle with, the hopes you try to protect, and He holds all of it with love. And you don't need to fight to be heard by someone who created your voice. You don't need to run after something that's already written in your divine path. You don't need to live in anxiety, wondering if your life is unfolding as it should. Every twist, every delay, every detour is leading you somewhere sacred, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Instead of begging, start believing. Start thanking Him in advance. Start trusting that your prayers are being handled, even when you see no sign of movement. Start affirming, I am already in alignment with what I've asked for. I trust the timing. I trust the journey. I trust my Creator. Faith isn't loud. It doesn't need to shout. It's steady. It's quiet. It's the calm that holds you together when everything around you is uncertain. It's the whisper in your spirit that says, it's already done. Just keep walking. There is something beautiful about surrender, about laying down your worry and choosing rest, about handing over the burden and allowing God to be God. That's not giving up, that's growing up. That's spiritual maturity. When you stop panicking and start trusting. When you stop begging and start believing. God doesn't need your fear, He needs your faith. He doesn't want you to live in lack, He wants you to live in love. His plan for you is always greater than what you could have written for yourself. He isn't late. He isn't withholding. He's wise. He's kind. And He is always on time. So rest, dear heart. Let your soul be still. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You don't need to fight for what's already yours. You are deeply seen, fully known, eternally loved. Your prayers have been received. Your heart has been heard. Let go of the need to chase and strive. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. The answer may come differently than you imagined, but it will always come right on time. Surrender is often misunderstood. To the outside world, it can look like giving up, like backing down, like letting life have its way with you. But true surrender is none of those things. It is not weakness. It is not defeat. Surrender is sacred strength. It is the strength of someone who chooses peace over control, trust over fear, and flow over resistance. When you surrender, you are not saying, I don't care anymore. You're saying, I trust that something greater is holding me. You're not giving up, you're giving in. You're allowing yourself to be guided instead of trying to force everything into place. You're choosing to believe that your life is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't look like it yet. There is so much power in that decision. Because surrender doesn't mean you stop showing up. It means you stop trying to control outcomes you were never meant to carry. It means you give yourself permission to rest, to breathe, to stop pushing against the current, and let the river of life carry you forward. The truth is, the need to control everything is exhausting. Trying to fix, manage, manipulate, and predict every detail drains your spirit. It creates tension in your body, anxiety in your mind, and fear in your heart. You begin to believe that if you don't keep everything in order, everything will fall apart. But you are never meant to hold the entire world together. That's not your job. Your job is to live with intention, to align with love, to trust the process, and to release what you cannot change. That is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is spiritual maturity. It is the path to peace. Surrender is the quiet voice inside that says, I've done my part. Now I let go. It's the deep breath after a storm. It's the exhale of a soul that knows it's supported. It's the choice to believe that life is happening for you, not to you. And yet, surrender requires courage. It takes courage to let go of the illusion of control. It takes courage to believe in divine timing. It takes courage to walk by faith, not by sight. But on the other side of that courage is freedom. Freedom from worry. Freedom from perfectionism. Freedom from trying to carry burdens that were never yours. When you surrender, you make space. Space for miracles, space for healing, space for unexpected blessings to reach you. You stop blocking the flow of life with your fear and start inviting grace to enter. That is when things begin to shift. Not because you forced them, but because you allowed them. Sometimes we hold on so tightly because we're afraid. Afraid that if we let go, we'll fall. Afraid that if we loosen our grip, everything will crumble. But the opposite is true. Letting go is what sets you free. It's what brings you back to your center. It's what allows love to find you, peace to fill you, and clarity to guide you. And you don't have to surrender all at once. You can begin gently, one worry at a time, one fear at a time, one thought at a time. You can start by saying, I don't know how this will work out, but I trust that it will. You can begin by whispering, I'm tired of holding this on my own. I hand it over now. Even a soft surrender is powerful. Even a quiet release is sacred. Because in that moment you return to yourself. You return to the truth that you are not alone, that you are deeply supported by something greater, and that no matter what happens, you will be okay. You will be more than okay. You will be renewed. Surrender doesn't mean your situation changes overnight, but it means you change. Your energy shifts, your mind calms, your heart opens. And suddenly, the impossible starts to feel possible again. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Because you stopped trying to force life and started allowing life. So let go, gently, patiently, lovingly let go of what you can't control, of what no longer serves you, of what you were never meant to carry, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Because your soul knows the truth. Surrender is not a step back. It's a leap into grace. Trust that you are being led. Trust that everything is unfolding in divine order. Trust that your surrender is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of something beautiful. And in that trust, you will find your strength. Sacred, quiet, unshakable.